we're on record for the initial disposition in this manner. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Lee Heist, lawyer guardian ad litem.
Ms. Daja Thomas, counsel for the department. Ms. Copas.
Eva Copas, child welfare specialist for Illinois County DHS.
Michael McFarland representing mother, who is not in the hall. I don't believe she's on Zoom either.
Okay, and I have to correct that. I think our next one's the initial. This is our second regular review. Anyway, thank you. Have you heard from your client at all, Mr. McFarland?
No, speaking to the worker though, I'm told that her intentions may be to turn herself into law enforcement today.
Ah, easy.
All I know.
All right. We have two non-respondent parents. And I understand maybe there might be one of them here today.
Yes, this is Austin Balagino.
Welcome. All right, Ms. Hicks, I look forward to your report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before I get rambling about these really cool kids, I want to point out the legal parts of my presentation. I believe the department intends to reunify the two boys with their dad, who is a non-respondent. The plan would be for dad to, he has a custody suit pending. I think he's stuck in that loop again where friend of the court won't let him file. It appears they've had some turnover in staff down there, and this is happening again. I have about 3 cases that I've prepared this week for you that all have experienced that. So, and I am not opposed to that. The plan will be, if he gets custody, because this mom is not progressing, that what's best for these kids is that the children will stay 5 overnights a week with grandma. It's a good situation. She gets them to school. She's very attentive. And then he's there every day from like 5 to 7. And he takes the children on the 2 boys on the weekend. One boy is his biologically, one we think is not his, but he's treated all 3 of these kids as his kids growing when they were growing up. Oh, this is the grandma. I missed a family team meeting. This grandmother placement hasn't given me access to the children in 2 review periods. So I walked in yesterday unannounced, which I have never done before, and they were very polite, but they're very unhappy with me because the littlest girl went home to her biological legal father after having been raised with this grandmother, and she's very attached to this little one. So I visited all 3 kids face to face. The little girl who went home, the youngest who went home with her father, has a fictive brother in the home. It is a wonderful home. There is a lot of outside area. There's Great Dane and just a lot of, I think a lab too, but anyway, a really healthy home, really working parents, and she has a parent available to her all day, and she's doing really well, bouncing around on the trampoline, and you would really love the environment. The older 2 boys really miss contact with that little girl, so I have a plan for that. So I visited the 2 little boys at grandma's house, and they're upset with me because the little girl went home. The plan was the little girl was gonna do daycare at grandma's because she's grown up there, and it's a nice place. It's a loving place. And the relationship broke down. So now dad does his own daycare and the little girl doesn't go there anymore. Grandma's very distraught about that. And the 2 little boys would like to have more contact with this little girl who's doing so well in her environment. Okay, so the 2 boys are doing very well. 5 nights a week at grandma's. I think we should continue this. The boy that's in school is doing exceptional. Every day he earns a little ticket for his behavior and his grades. This is placement that just came in. I'm so sorry. Okay. So he's doing very well academically, and this plan works very well for the boys to be with grandma where they've always grown up. And dad, their legal father comes. This is the problem. Okay, so reuniting with dad. He is going to continue the same plan, which is the boys will be with grandma during the week, go home with him. They have a great relationship. What I'm trying to convince grandma of is she shouldn't trade on her relationship only. The legal authority to have those boys there 5 days a week is something that we could do for her through a guardianship or something.
We've agreed to that.
but bio dad has done nothing wrong, so he deserves his kids back. But then he's gonna put them right back with grandma where they belong 5 days a week, and they have a long-term relationship. This bio dad, the dad of the two boys, has lived with grandma more than the mom has lived with grandma. She trusts him, she loves him, so that was the only tweak that I was gonna make. I missed a family team meeting, and one review period ago, grandma canceled my visit. This time, we weren't having a visit, but then we finally got through and communicated and talked. So that was my only tweak. I told the family, I'm not trying to change what they do. I'm just trying to make it a legal structure that it doesn't happen again where she can't babysit because dad says, because the relationship breaks down and he has the youngest girl. Anyway, one last tweak on our proposal. So that, I don't think that's really in the case, in the.
The focus quickly shifts toward the grandmother, and honestly, she sounds like the real backbone holding these kids together. The court hears how the boys are thriving with her while the mother.
Court report, it's not really emphasized under recommendations, but there is a plan to in theory only, reunify the two boys with the dad. I have no objection to that. The dad has a pending custody that's stuck. And, okay, but we'll get more information from the caseworker. She knows more about that. And then the visits that mom misses, like 75–80% of the visits she misses, what if we were to keep those visits on and the children visit each other there? So with Miss Edwards, it's not whether mom, because I was gonna go observe the boys at mom's visit. And the youngest one, but mom doesn't come, so those visits get canceled. What if we set those up at least every other one or something for the kids to see each other? They grew up together, and maybe grandma could come into some of those supervised visits because she really was the parent figure. And she's the rock behind the kids being here where we are now. One boy has autism, and you can't really communicate with him, and he walks on his tippy. I mean, he's true, and he cuddles with this grandma. And a lot of times kids don't want that physical attention. You just can't reach him. But he lets her dress him. He lets her touch him. He's very familiar there. So my recommendations are that we work another review period. I have no objection to reunifying with dad because grandma trusts that he's going to leave the kids there. But I think the form of a guardianship, one kind of form would be funded, one kind wouldn't be, and the family says they don't need it to be funded, but I think we should leave this family with grandma having the authority as the rock of the family. Anyway, and it sounds like maybe grandma has dad's permission, and using those visits for the children to see each other at least some of the times when mom cancels. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you. Testimony today, Ms. Thomas?
Your Honor, may I inquire if Ms. Heather Boker has joined us on Zoom?
I think she may have. I know Mr. Anthony Fox has joined us. Are you Heather Boker, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome.
Your Honor, before we move forward, because I do intend to ask if Ms. Boker would like to testify, may I inquire with Mr. McFarland if he would like to break out with his client first before we continue?
Well, if I may just inquire on the record, if she wishes to speak to me. Do you feel the need? You need to speak with me first?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I have no objection to her being called.
Thank you. Then I would ask that Ms. Boker be sworn in.
Thank you, Deputy.
Ms. Boker, can you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Boker, is it okay to refer to you as Ms. Boker, or do you prefer Heather?
You can call me Heather. That's fine.
Okay. Heather, did you have an opportunity to review the court report that was submitted for today's hearing?
I did.
And were there any elements of it that you disagreed with?
If I would like to speak, I have questions about the abuse allegations. I don't really understand that, I guess.
So that's part of the reason that the children are in care. And so today we only focus on the review period. So the last time we were in court was June 10th. So from June 10th to today,
Yep.
Just focusing on the progress.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So generally, the court report indicates that maybe you've been struggling to comply with your case service plan.
Yes, at the beginning I did.
Okay.
Yep. I was very
As
avoidant.
it relates to your living arrangement, do you have stable housing at this point in time?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Have you communicated that to Ms. Copus?
Not really. We have not talked much as we used to since Linda's been put on the case.
And I just am trying to understand, are you stating that you're not talking with Ms. Copus as much because you're communicating more with Ms. Edwards?
More with Linda lately, yes.
I'm sorry, that broke up. I couldn't understand your answer, Ms. Boker.
Yes, I communicate more with Linda lately.
Thank you.
How often are you reaching out to Ms. Copus?
I talk to her maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks.
Okay. The court report indicates that you have an active bench warrant
Yes.
as of the last review period. Is that still active?
Yes, ma'am. And I talked to my lawyer yesterday, and Monday I have to go and turn in.
Okay. And
So-
was the bench warrant active for failure to appear and failure to
Yeah.
comply with maybe probationary terms?
It was bond restrictions.
And currently, is there still the no contact order with your mother, Miss Dawn Gibson?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you been following that?
Yes, ma'am.
Once Heather finally speaks, the courtroom tone changes completely. She admits struggling with the case plan, admits the warrant is still active, and even says she plans to turn herself in.
It looks like you completed your psychological evaluation maybe a week or two ago.
It was done on August 10th, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I misread that. As of the report date, the assessment or evaluation had not been submitted. Okay. How are you doing with your substance abuse treatment with Parkside?
I do Zoom. I'm required to do once a week. He responded me last week, so I have not seen him.
Okay.
And
Can you slow down, please? I'm only getting every other word, so if you could slow down a little bit, I think that could help.
I'm required to meet with him once a week. I have not seen him since last week.
Okay. And have you started meeting with a recovery coach yet, or where is that in your program?
So far, I meet with 2 counselors from the substance abuse treatment plan. So I'm not sure exactly what they are.
Part of the case source plan indicates that you are assigned a color for random drug screening, but you have not participated in that. Can you explain why?
So my bond restrictions are not to be using the internet, and to find out my color, I have to use internet. So Linda has agreed to screen me randomly and when I come in.
Okay. So for LDC, the way you cannot call in to find your color, if whether your color was called?
And not that I have seen. I know I have to through the probation, but I have not got a number through Ava through that service.
Okay. And are you currently employed?
No.
How are you maintaining housing?
Right now I stay with my grandmother, and I get help basically from my family until I can get everything taken care of, because I just currently lost my own place a couple months back. So this is new.
One of the concerns, I don't know if you've caught it or not, but Ms. Heiss had also mentioned the, I guess, lack of parenting time that you've attended.
Yes. I've been pretty concerned about the warrant and I'm gonna be honest, I've been really scared about going back to jail. So I have been kind of avoidant, honestly.
The department is requesting the court to reduce your parenting time to only once a week scheduled for 2 hours. Do you have an opinion on that?
I mean, I would preferably keep it to 2, but I mean, there's not much really I can say.
And it seems like from the court report that you are also provided transportation
Yes.
to parenting time. So transportation is not a barrier to attending, correct?
No.
Okay, just double checking on that. Is there anything else that you would like to say for the court at this point in time regarding your case service plan or compliance with it?
I just, I want to apologize to the court and everybody for all this, and I really hope to get my children back into the home with me, if possible, and complete my services and take care of everything. So that's about it.
Your drugs, I just had one more question regarding your drug screens. They are coming back positive for THC and I'm gonna butcher that. Buprenorphine.
No more of that will be in my system. I've cleaned out completely.
Okay. And what is THC not your drug of choice?
I used to have a problem with cocaine.
Okay.
That was what the problem was.
And have you discussed using THC or any other substances with your substance abuse therapist?
They didn't seem to have a big problem with the THC. It was more so the cocaine and the Suboxone that was in my system.
The Suboxone was not prescribed?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty and your testimony today. I have no further questions.
Mr. McGrath?
Just a couple of questions for you. Did you hear the guardian Litem's report where she's suggesting perhaps a guardianship with grandmother? Did you hear that?
I came in right as you guys were discussing Brody.
Well, the guardian Litem suggested a possible resolution because grandmother has effectively raised these children for a long time.
Then comes the emotional apology. Heather tells the court she wants her children back and hopes to fix everything. But the timing feels rough because the court has already heard about missed visits.
And the non-respondent father's intentions would be to leave them there, as I understand it, would be her suggestion be both the parents sign a guardianship, which is a transfer of your parental responsibilities to another adult in her to raise the children. There would still be, visitation and perhaps a support obligation, but as a means of closing this case, a guardianship. Have you had any opportunity to think about that?
Not really, but I'm not opposed to it.
Would you be receptive to perhaps a family team meeting where you meet with the worker and they would discuss what this might look like? What
yes.
you're anticipating. Okay. As far as parenting time, once you take care of your bond issue, is there any impediment from you visiting twice a week at the current schedule?
No, not. Like I said, Monday this week I have to take care of it. I just don't know how long they're gonna hold me. So when I talked to Ava, she told me that they will pick up my parenting time after that. So there should be no problems at all.
So would you be able to call, let's say, a day before your visit, confirm that you will or will not show up, so the kids aren't expecting you when you don't show? Would you be able to do that? And you have a telephone that wouldn't be voiding your no internet?
Yeah, I do. I'm allowed
Okay.
to use the internet for my court cases and calls and emails. Anything
Gotcha.
court related.
Isn't drug testing court related or not?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
So can you maybe talk to your PO and see about if you can use the internet for the colors, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
Yep.
Is there any point or any portion of your case service plan that you think that you need assistance with or having difficulty accomplishing that you could reach out for help?
not really. I mean, communication with my daughter, but we already have a custody battle established for that, so I don't think so.
Okay. Perhaps the Guardian Litem has some questions for you, but have we concluded everything that you wish to express today?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Heiss, any questions for Ms. Boker?
Your current address, is that something that Eva has?
Yeah, I've given her both the address because when I bonded out, I was staying with a friend, but now I'm back staying with my grandmother, so I still have the same address. I was just back and forth through visit days and court dates and stuff in town, but it's
What
still
city?
101
What
One-
city is that?
Brooklyn. It'd
Okay.
be Jackson County, I think.
All right. Some of your transportation to visits is, does Miss Edwards pick you up, Linda?
No, right now
How do you get to,
I've been using friends and family to get there.
does Anthony help you get there sometimes?
He has one time back, but not necessarily because he's at work.
Okay. So on the weeks that you don't see the kids, it looks like you visited 7 out of 23 opportunities, 7 out of 23 opportunities, something like that. The weeks that you don't see the children, do you call them or have any contact with them?
I am not allowed to call them, is what I was
Okay.
told. And Briella's father has no contact absolutely at all with me. So I don't know how the well-being of my daughter is. I don't know if she's okay. I've not been contacted back with doctor's appointments that I was allowed to go to even. So I really don't know how my daughter is at all.
Do you know when your next custody date is?
It's October 1st.
Okay, and then, have you been in domestic violence counseling?
Not yet. I've not been sentenced or anything for my domestic violence charge.
What is your counseling for that you are going to?
I am doing substance abuse counseling right now.
Did you disclose, do you have a prescription for buprenorphine?
No.
You were testing positive for it. How?
Yes.
But you don't have a prescription.
Nope, but I have completely stopped taking those too. I could pass a drug test anytime.
So are you on probation then for this domestic violence where the placement was the victim?
No, ma'am, because I've not been sentenced, so I'm still on just bond restrictions is all I've gotten from court.
So the pending warrant is for not appearing in court on that case?
Yes, ma'am.
And what were you in jail for and you got out in June?
I violated my bond restrictions by having contact with Andrew Jacobs.
Things become even more brutal when Heather admits she barely knows how her daughter is doing. She says she has no contact, no updates, and no communication.
So they put me back in there.
And do you have a no contact bond with your mom?
Yes.
You don't talk to her by phone?
No, I'm not allowed to. I see her at the visits for a few, but that's it.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
May I ask one follow-up question?
Well, let's find out if Ms. Thomas has any redirect.
Oh, thank you.
I have none, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brown.
Have you entered a plea on your domestic violence case? Have you
Yeah.
gone that far? Okay, so right now you're just waiting to be sentenced, is that correct?
Yes.
Is your understanding when you turn yourself in, that's for the violation of the bond and you're going to be sentenced at the same time? Is that your belief?
I'm not honestly sure because they put my court case on pause since I missed. So I really honestly don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Okay. Which judge is this in front of?
Shadler.
Taylor. Okay, thank you. Nothing further.
Any other questions from you, Ms. Heiss?
No, thank you.
Any other witnesses, Ms. Thomas?
Yeah, and I'd just like to have Ms. Copas sworn in to lay foundation for the court report.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Ms. Copas, did you author the court report that it's before the court today?
I did.
And are there any updates or modifications that you're aware of that need to be made to it or any of the attachments?
Yes, page 10 in the case service plan, section 3 reads Kayla Walden. It should read Heather Boger.
Where is that?
Page 10, section 3 in the case service plan.
Oh, okay. Any objections?
No objection.
None.
Are there any other updates or modifications?
No.
As it relates to, this is a little complicated, I think, maybe it's not. As it relates to the two boys, their father has never been a respondent in this matter, correct?
Correct.
Was the intention of the department to ever remove them from his care and custody?
No.
Does this department support the relationship and arrangement that Mr. Fox and Ms. Gibson have created?
We do. It's a well thought out plan and it does have the children's best interest at heart.
As Ms. Heiss indicated, practically there would be no change to the children's day-to-day life, correct? If the court were to legally return the children to Mr. Fox care and custody?
Correct.
What changes does that order create in general, though?
So for the children, it means more contact with dad. So it means that instead of working with the caregiver, I would be working more one-on-one with dad to ensure that the kids' needs are being met. But ultimately, it would mean that they are placed with dad and that he has the authority for treatment, anything educational, of legal matters. He has the authority to care for his children. And during this reporting period, and really since the onset of the case, he has demonstrated that ability. Mr. Fox sees his children every day. As soon as he leaves work, he is at Ms. Gibson's home, caring for the children, providing for them, bathing them, dinners, things of that nature. If he needs to be at an IEP meeting or a medical appointment, he is there. He ensures that if he's not there, that the caregiver has what she needs. And so for all intents and purposes, outside of allowing them to remain with Ms. Gibson for school, he is caring and taking care of his children.
You heard Ms. Heiss's remarks about sibling visits. Do you have an opinion or a recommendation on how to encourage the sibling bond with these two different households?
I mean, we keep to our monthly sibling visitation, which is per policy. We have attempted to coordinate family team meetings to facilitate additional contact between the siblings and the family. My concern about adding additional parent or additional sibling visits is that if this is not how the family intends to maintain after us, I fear that we might be setting the children up for failure, that they're going to remain having this contact when that is maybe not the intention of the caregivers. I don't know at this point how to encourage contact.
The worker explains the father already acts like the primary parent anyway. He works, attends school meetings, handles routines, and supports the grandmother's care structure.
Other than that, what we already have done, and that the family are taking care of the children's needs at this time.
A lot of Miss Heiss, her comments regarding this relationship between Miss Gibson and the little girl really focused on Miss Gibson being, her primary caregiver for a significant amount of time. Have you seen any concerns from the child for not having that consistent contact with grandma or not seeing her siblings regularly?
The only time it's being reported to me or that we're seeing it is when she is actually seeing them. So in those transition periods during parenting time, we are seeing where she will seek out grandma over mom, or she'll seek out her siblings to be in contact with them. But during her day-to-day routine, she is not seeking them out. She continues to do well in her placement, and she's not asking for them.
Thank you. And just briefly, can you reiterate the substantial risk of harm if the children were to be returned to Ms. Boker's care and custody today?
So if the children were returned to mother, there would still be a significant risk of homelessness, substance abuse, physical neglect, and those continue to be barriers to reunification.
As of today, have you received the psychological evaluation back?
I have not.
And are you still requesting the court to reduce parenting time to once weekly?
We are.
And that would still require the confirmation ahead of time to ensure parenting time could move forward?
Yes, currently mother confirms by noon the day of her visit with Ms. Edwards to ensure that she will be on time for her visits. Because we have experienced Ms. Booker not showing for visits, and the children do not cope well with mom. If they're told she's going to be there and she's not there, they tend to struggle.
Is there anything that you would like to highlight from the court report that Ms. Boker or Ms. Heiss has not already testified to or brought to the court's attention?
No.
Thank you for your testimony, Your Honor. I have no further questions of this witness and would move to admit the court report with the attachments.
No objection.
No objection.
Thank you. They're received. Cross-examination. Mr. McCraw.
You heard my client's testimony that the reason she wasn't visiting was because she's afraid she's gonna get picked up on a warrant. She's turning herself in on Monday. You heard that, correct?
I did.
What are your thoughts about giving her a time frame, let's say like maybe 30 days to have the visitation as you request, and then to expand it if she's demonstrated an ability to keep the parenting time that you're requesting right now?
My concern is that this is a statement I've heard from Ms. Boker before. Ms. Boker has told me a handful of times since June 10th that she would take care of her warrant every time there's a reason for not doing it. She was, at my last conversation with her, she was taking care of it this morning and that she would be here in person. And so I worry about her commitment to this case, and I worry about whether she will follow through. And in the meantime, we have missed visits that are impacting the children.
I think maybe there's some presumption on my part that if she turns herself in on the warrant, and if she has jail time, whenever that's done, if she then exercises regular parenting time for a 30-day period after that warrant is taken care of, would you then consider going back to the regular parenting time when she's exhibited parenting time, because the goal is still reunification?
Absolutely, but we can always expand parenting time. It's just we need court permission to reduce parenting time. Expanding it, and when parents are doing well, is always on the table. It's always an option, yes.
So if she does do well what are your thoughts about how long it would take for her to exhibit consistent parenting time to expand parenting time again?
At this point, I would need a minimum 90 days. This case has been open since February and mother has not been in compliant. And really the only compliance we've seen has been since July. And so we would need to see a significant more period of time of her to engage in her sobriety and in her services.
So you're saying that you believe that one visit per week would promote reunification?
I think it's the best that we can promote reunification and make it attainable for mom, because right now she's not making 2 visits a week. And so I'm worried that that will continue because she is not ensuring all her services are being cared for. She's not in compliance. And so my worry is that we're setting her up for failure by making it so that she has to make these 2 visits and she's not making them. And so I want to pull back a little bit so that things can be a little bit more manageable and under her control so that she can ensure that she's attending all of these appointments.
Suppose her doing a virtual visit would free up some time, wouldn't it?
The mother's attorney tries fighting back by asking for another chance and expanded visitation later. But DHS pushes harder, saying they need at least 90 days of consistent compliance first.
I'd be happy to do a virtual visit. That would be difficult given the children's ages and Brody's limitations. He is not able to maintain a phone conversation. Also, we would have to figure out the details. So logistically, the caregiver is not to have contact with the mother. So who would be supervising and what that would look like.
So you mean like do closed television at your office?
I don't know what that would look like. I apologize. If that's an option we have, then I would be more than happy to look into it.
Okay, that's all I'm asking, is the expiration of that. Have you talked to the parties other than my client regarding this guardianship proposal that the guardian Litem has discussed?
I have had conversations. We did have a family team meeting. It is my understanding at that time of our family team meeting that Mr. Fox did not want to give over legal control to Ms. Gibson and wanted his children placed in his care and wanted the plan to proceed as we had planned.
Okay, I have nothing. Well, I do. Prioritization for my client. Turning herself in be the first thing that you would want her to do for her case service plan. Then how does she progress?
Substance abuse was the main reason the children were brought into care. It should be the highest of priorities. I did hear her speak about her barriers with screening. However, that has been reviewed with her and discussed, and options where she gave me options saying that she was instructed that if someone else checked for her, that she would be allowed to use the internet, that if someone else logged in for her, that was not breaking her conditions based on what she told me. She did not bring the issue to me saying that she was unable to gain access to her drug screens. I had to bring the issue to her. And so I worry that should be her priority, is substance abuse. That is the main reason the kids came into care. It hinders all of her other barriers, and it should be substance abuse.
If your attorney does not call Mr. Fox, I intend to do so. And if his thoughts now are he would support a guardianship, would you support having a family team meeting with all parties involved to discuss what that might look like?
I mean, we are always open to having a family team meeting. We want to do what's best for the family, and so absolutely.
If everybody's on board with that, as the guardian Litem appears to be, would that perhaps be a permanency goal in the future?
The hard part for the department with that being a permanency goal is that dad is a non-respondent. And so the children, we have no reason to keep the children from dad. So yes, he would have to verbally tell us that he does not want his children.
Nothing further.
Yes.
I missed that family team meeting. Would you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
And you use Teams, which you know I have an incredibly hard time getting on Teams. I miss most of your family team meetings for that barrier, right?
We do. We do not have full access to Zoom. I believe we are at the free trial. So if any FTM through Zoom would have to be 40 minutes or less. So we do utilize, I generally do a hybrid meeting, which would be in person or through Microsoft Teams.
So the MDHHS can't use FaceTime?
We struggle to use Zoom.
Zoom. You don't use Zoom at MDHHS?
No. I have not. I use it in trainings, but we have not, I don't have access to the have a 2-hour meeting on Zoom.
Have you asked your colleagues if everyone else at the department is using Zoom, because to reinforce that the court uses Zoom and to keep all these folks using Zoom and being fluent with it?
That's not a particular conversation I've had.
Right, so I missed the meeting where you guys discussed that dad has, he's not a respondent and there's no reason to place with him, correct?
There's a reason not to place with them.
Yeah. But he didn't ask for placement until now.
I think like us, he was a bit confused as to why they were removed from his care to begin with.
But in his care has always been with the placement.
And they're comfortable with how things are.
Right, so at the family team meeting that I couldn't get into with my barrier that you're aware of, anybody had understanding of custody and 5 overnights versus 2 overnights? Anybody discuss any of that?
We did not.
Right, so your proposal is to put the children, place them back with dad, who, because it's best for the kids, is gonna leave them 5 overnights every week with grandma.
Correct.
And that would stop grandma's funding.
It would.
Right, so grandma, right, do you think grandma has does she appear to have a lot of assets and access to income?
Under this plan, Mr. Fox would be caring for his children, so I would expect that if grandma had any needs, that he would be meeting those.
So he would pay child support over,
However, that would work out, yes.
or pay for daycare?
Yes.
So one idea is grandma could, if the children were placed back with dad and he does what's right for the kids and leaves them at grandma's, she might be able to qualify for, as a daycare provider for those kids and be paid.
If he would have to qualify for services, state of Michigan benefits, in order for that to be an option.
And he works full time.
Correct. So I don't know his income to say with 2 children, what that would look like for the state standards. But if he qualified for daycare assistance, then yes, there would be an avenue for us to make grandma that provider, to receive income and for taking care of the children.
But at least short term, grandma's gonna go without funding because Mr. Fox is gonna do the right.
The Guardian ad litem starts aggressively questioning DHS about why major placement plans were barely mentioned earlier. That frustration becomes obvious fast.
Thing and have the kids there where they're successful and where he's welcome anytime, day or night. And he does exercise visits almost daily.
Correct.
And he takes the kids on the weekend.
Yes, and he's also present for appointments and things of that nature.
And this is an 11-year relationship where grandma and dad have worked this out. This is what's best for the children. So legally, if you put custody with dad and he stops the daycare arrangement, a new girlfriend, a new whatever, grandma, the main provider for these kids, has no recourse as grandma.
Correct.
So are you intending to place the 2 boys with dad in the next 24 hours?
Yes.
And why wasn't that in the court report?
I apologize. I thought it wasn't under the FTM section, so if it's not there, I do apologize. At our FTM, it was decided that we would move them following today's hearing.
Did you provide meeting notes from the FTM to my office?
I have not.
So it's really inconvenient for you that I missed that meeting and that now I have these ideas and we're working them out here when we always work them out at FTMs, right?
That's generally the course of action we take, yes.
Right, and you were aware that I was not having visits with the children at the placement home, right?
It was brought to my attention, yes.
Yeah, and I asked you if the phone number was right and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
And you offered and let me know that the visits were at DHS and I could observe one of those.
Yes.
Are you aware of a new police report regarding grandma being on the property of Mr. Balaschino and being disruptive?
Yes.
All right, is that in the police report?
I had not. I am aware of the report. It was not in my court report because I had not actually viewed the court, the police report. I apologize. I didn't have a copy of the police report.
So your plan would reunify the children with dad, who knows it's best for the kids to be 5 days, 5 overnights with grandma. And is grandma reacting well to the fact that Briella went in custody with her dad and the daycare situation broke down so she doesn't see that child? Is she doing well about that?
She is not. I will say that in our conversations, since the initial removal in June, I've seen improvement. I've seen her be able to work with us and coordinate, but there was a lot of anger, there was a lot of tears over Briella's placement. And when the breakdown between the two families happened, there was more. Ms. Gibson did admit to reaching out to Dad daily, despite his request for not having contact with her. Those seem to have subsided. And then as well as we had the incidents in which Grandma showed up to the home uninvited and was asked to leave. And then it's my understanding that she also then began banging on the doors and windows.
Okay, so that the father of the littlest one has a custody date in this court coming up on October 1st. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, and he's asking for custody. Okay. Just a minute, I lost my train of thought. So one of your reasons for placing the two boys with Dad isn't that anything overnights are gonna change. You're not trying to do that, right?
No, we're not trying to change the day-to-day routine, no.
So you said that you're going to, but the change would allow Dad to access more services.
Yes.
Well, are there services available for Grandma for counseling to be emotionally stable while she is the placement?
We would have to go through her insurance and we could help her, I could help her find those services.
Looks like she needs it, would you agree? We've got two kids staying there. There was a real steep precipice, a real sudden drop off in the boys seeing the little girl and Grandma seeing the little girl, and they've been together their whole lives, right?
Yes.
Okay, so could, on the days that Miss Boker misses her visits, could the kids still come and see each other, supervised by Miss Edwards? Once a month?
We do not have an issue with that, and I would approve of that plan. My concern is moving forward. If we are fostering relationships, we need to ensure that those relationships are going to be maintained. So I think that would involve having a very collaborative FTM to discuss the details of what that would look like. Because my worry is that we'll have that drop off again if the families aren't committed to keeping that. If we're only doing those visitations by Ms. Edwards or with the department, what's the guarantee that they're going to maintain contact at case closure? And I don't want to set the children again up for failure of believing that they're going to see a sibling and they're not. And so I think it would just need to be well planned out.
Okay, and then Miss Boker has lots of criminal cases open, a felony and two misdemeanors, or 3 or something.
Last I understood, she had the domestic violence charge. She had 4 counts of something to do with disseminating sexually explicit material. And then she had a felony resisting arrest. That was the last I was aware for criminal history.
So she's had a felony resisting arrest in June of this year.
Yes.
Okay, so she's got lots of criminal stuff going on, and right now her current status is warrant.
Yes.
Things get emotional again when testimony reveals the grandmother struggled badly after losing daily contact with the youngest child. The court hears about tears, anger, and conflict between households.
I don't know the whole story. I just wanted your summary of Mr. Balaschino and his live together partner. Is that right? She's a live together partner, not married. Okay. They have decided to not have the youngest girl in daycare with Grandma.
Yes.
Do you support that?
I support that because it is Dad's decisions to make for his child. There were behaviors that he was concerned about that I think any parent, he has the right to have those concerns and make those decisions.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any information about Anthony, the father of the 2 boys, and Mom being in a relationship where he helps her with transportation or more or less?
Minimal help, but he has been honest and open with that. If he's providing her transportation, I know he drove her home from a visitation. He informs me of that. He's usually pretty good about ensuring that the children, any help that he's giving, that she wouldn't have direct contact with the kids. The kids are always with grandma or elsewhere, so he's not placing them at risk of anything.
Thank you, nothing further.
All right, if we're gonna take a brief recess, we've got 11 o'clock. That sounds like we have a couple more witnesses for this case, so I appreciate your patience. We're gonna take up our other case for this morning, and then we'll come back to this one, so we don't have to rush. Or
By the end, the courtroom sounds mentally drained. Criminal charges, missed visits, sibling separation, addiction concerns, and custody battles are all crashing together at once. All right, guys, the judge finally calls a recess because this case has become way bigger than simple parenting issues.